So what is it when you start to be nice and kind to yourself for 2 weeks and then you fall off? Bitch, you done love bombed your goddamn self. And now you mad when other people do it, but you've turned into the villain. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast, where we center the stories of Black women as we heal from the painful relationships with our mothers. Welcome to the Black Mother Wound podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Arnice. Welcome back, y'all. Happy Tuesday, or whatever day it is that you are listening to today's episode. It is the week of Christmas, y'all. My God, we made it. Okay. Make sure that y'all are doing things that prioritize your care, your needs, your wants, your desires this holiday season. This is a time where people come making lots of requests, and you might feel the need to prove that you're a good person, a good friend, wife, mother, girlfriend, coworker, all those things. I want you to audit those relationships in your mind and say, do I owe anybody a fucking thing? The answer will probably be no. Okay? So take all that energy that you were about to expend on others and turn it on yourself, even if it makes you feel a little cringe. This is habit building for the new year, new you, sis. Okay? Trust me. This on good shit. All right? So, what else do we have here? Today, we are proceeding with answering audience questions. And the theme of today's episode is self-image, worthiness, and confidence. Because we know growing up with an emotionally immature, an emotionally insensitive mother, a woman who may not have poured into you in the ways that you needed, it impacts and affects how you see yourself and how you perceive the world to see you. Okay. So we're going to get into that a little bit today. So the first question is, one, how do I rebuild my sense of worth when my mother only praises me now? What I'm gathering from this is you've had to hustle for your worthiness, and it's all built around the things that you do, not who you are. Okay. So what I want you to do, and it's funny how it's like rebuild. Is it a rebuild or is it a build from the beginning? Are we just building genuine sense of worth, right? It's not even really rebuilding, because did we ever truly have it? Was there ever a time where we felt worthy just for being without all the doing? You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself that question. Now, when it comes to building a sense of worth, and again, y'all know, as I answer these questions, some of these answers they're gonna overlap, right? The first thing you need to do is remove yourself from environments that require you to perform for your worth. That's the first thing. You have to get out of that garden and get into a new garden, right? So it's first, once you can establish a baseline of that, because then once you get out of the space of performing for people so they will applaud you and you feel worthy, all of those insecurities get to come up to the surface, girl. That's where the fun part starts. All those insecurities, all those low self-esteem beliefs, all those thoughts that you had as a child, your mother's voice, your neighbor's voice, your grandma's voice, whoever's voice it was that was telling you you only going to be something if you do this, that, and the third. You're going to have to let all of that come to the surface, because you're avoiding those feelings because you think that they're true. And this is really at the crux of inner child reparenting work, right? Because what you're doing is taking a little girl from whatever age, let's start at age 2, age 3, and how do you build her up? It's not with how well she does things, right? It starts with just who she is, right? Your worth around waking up in the morning. You all, I think, and I can't blame you because you don't know. It seems abstract, but you have to take this like one morsel at a time. It's like one bite at a time in very small ways. So I'll give you an example, right? And the work is simple. It's hard because it's difficult for you to build the consistency of doing it because you don't think you're worth it. That's the difficulty. It's not the things that I'm telling you to do that are hard. Okay. So remember that. Okay. And y'all be looking for it to be something grand to do. Oh, it must be hard or it's not valuable. That's another piece you have to get out of your head because you can make huge changes in your life by making consistent small changes. That's with anything. That's how you build trust because that is a part of this sense of self-worth. So let's say you wake up in the morning, you start with, thank you for waking up this morning. Like, just thank you. Thank you for being here again. Thank you. Thanking yourself. You know, we wake up and we have been taught to pray to God or Jesus, and we are not taught how to come and acknowledge ourselves. So I'm not saying you can't pray. Y'all don't get twisted in the comments. Okay. You do what you like, but it's how you come back to yourself and start to find the things that you appreciate about yourself that are not rooted in accomplishment. They're not rooted in how someone else perceives you. I have another episode that talks about this. I got to figure out what that episode is. I might put it in the show notes. But you having a list, I'm going to give y'all this quick exercise because I teach this in depth in Resolve Evolved, which goes live January 4th. Click the link in the bio or the show notes to sign up today because you don't want to miss it. But what I tell people to do is make a list of 30 things that you like about yourself because you need to pick one for every day. And these are not things like I'm a good friend. You can always count on me. I give good advice. None of that bullshit. These are strictly selfish things that I want you to be pinning in this list. I'll tell you some of mine. I have a great smile. I have long, toned legs. I tell a hell of a story. I'm very funny. I can pick out the perfect color nail polish. Like those are just just that's just off the top of my dome. You know what I'm saying? But if you understand, then you understand. I have beautiful skin, right? I sleep through the night. Um I can I don't know, just it has to be something that is for you and it's selfish and it's something that you know is good. You know what I mean? So I want you to create that list of 30 things. And when you wake up in the morning, I want you to have one already ready. And I want you to think about it. I want you to say, ooh, I remember when I had that dress on, girl, my legs was looking so good in that dress and I was switching. And once I put that baby oil on there, my legs were so shiny. And such and such, he said he loved my legs, especially when they was wrapped around him. Like, I want you to get in that mode. You know what I mean? And I want you to feel it. That's how you start to seed feeling good about yourself because your self-worth is simply you feeling good about yourself. It is not you becoming a better person. It is not you proving anything. It is, wow, where do I find value with myself? Where is it? Where have I overlooked it? And you're probably overlooking it every day, all day. So that's a great way to start to build that self-worth up. Another thing to do is to congratulate yourself on small wins. You made your bed this morning? You did good, girl. Did you drink the water you were supposed to drink today? Oh my God, I drank my water today. Like, do an audit of your day and be like, how did I show up for myself today? I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, I declined 3 calls. Oh, I blocked such and such. Like, you know what? You took good care of yourself today. That gives you evidence that you have a worth. When you take care of yourself, it's evidence that you have worth, but you have to pull that into yourself, right? Then I want you to also be someone who, when you make a mistake, that you stop being so hard on yourself. It's like, oh, you so stupid. How could you do that? Damn, you should have done that better. You're going to have to replace that with, dang, we'll do better next time. Girl, I know you really wanted to make that call or get that done, but you did have a lot on your mind today. So we're going to try it again tomorrow. That's the tenderness and the compassion that I want you to have for yourself. You are tender and compassionate with things that have value. You take care of things that have value. You are careful with things that have value. So you have to start treating yourself like that throughout the day. And these are in like small ways. Every day something comes up where you can beat yourself up or you can applaud yourself. There's always something that's going to come up where you've accomplished something and you get to decide if it's worth applause. It doesn't matter what somebody else says. Imagine, remember I said we're talking about a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. If a little 2 or 3-year-old goes and hangs their coat up on the hook, it's such a simple task, but we applaud them because we want more of that behavior. We affirm the smallest thing they do. When they fall down and they get back up, we clap for them because we want them to remember, when you fall, you can get back up. That is the encouragement and the affirming that we give to someone that we value, someone that has worth to us. So that is how you're going to have to build that in yourself. And it cannot be connected to, one, what your mother says, or to your accomplishments, okay? Or how you show up for other people. Question number 2. How do I learn what love feels like at 64 when I've only known heartbreak? I want you to take everything I said in the first question and I want you to apply it. Everything is going to apply to you because self-worth and love, I mean, where's the difference? Where is the difference between those, right? And how do you learn to know what love feels like? Based off of how you treat yourself. By treating yourself well, and I'm going to tell you at first, it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel real cringe. You're going to feel selfish. You're going to feel guilty. You're going to feel self-conscious. It's going to make you feel anxious because your capacity to receive love probably fits right here. And you've got to expand that. So you've got to start small. What is something small and loving you can do for yourself? And I want you to start with something that is not material, not something you can touch. I want it to be something you can exchange with yourself, even if it's a thank you. When you fix yourself lunch and you sit down, you say, oh, thank you for fixing me lunch. When you get in the bed at night, you say, oh, thank you for carrying me all day. Appreciation is how you show love, but you have to start to give it to yourself. Completely forget about it coming from somewhere else. Don't even, that's not even, you're not there yet. It is about truly building love within yourself because as you get used to treating yourself well, you will then start to recognize it in others. But you have to start with yourself. And I'm going to put this as a caveat for this, as I always do. This shit takes time. Don't go up in there and say, oh, I did it for 30 days. I did it for 2 weeks and it's got hard and I just don't want to. This is a lifestyle. Loving is a lifestyle. Listen, if a man come into your life, right, and he shows you the world for the first 2 weeks, and then after that, he fall off, what you gonna say? You're gonna say he love bombed you, right? So what is it when you start to be nice and kind to yourself for 2 weeks and then you fall off? Bitch, you done love bombed your goddamn self. And now you mad when other people do it, but you've turned into the villain, okay? In your own story. So the number one thing you have to remember is progress over perfection. And even when you're doing this, let's say this is a great example. Let's say you take this practice on for 2 weeks and then you fall off. And then you come back a few weeks or months later or whatever, however long you come back, you don't beat yourself up because you dropped the ball. You say, you know what? I'm learning how to do something new. This work is really, really hard. It's scary and it makes me feel a little anxious, and I'm going to try it again. And I'm going to be really careful and tender with myself versus, girl, you were supposed to be doing that and now you didn't do it. And then you start talking shit to yourself, right? That is the opposite of what you should be doing. Okay. Question number 3. Can you share the early steps of how you affirmed yourself and became confident? Everything that I just said in questions 1 and questions 2. I got out from around folks who didn't affirm me. That was the very first thing. And you do that by paying attention to how you feel when you are around certain people. Even if they're your friends, your family, y'all been together forever, y'all have great times. If there's ever a time where you like, I ain't like the way that sound, or they were trying to be funny, it's like something in it don't sit right. You have to pay attention to that and you have to take action on it. Making different choices is what changed my life. Whether they were choices that I was making just with myself, which is where I started, and then I started making different choices with other people. The steps are start talking nicely to yourself. Period. I have an unconditional kindness and tenderness policy with myself, even when I fuck up. It's like, girl, you fucked that up, didn't you? But I know you didn't mean to. You doing your best. You doing a good job. Okay. Who do we need to apologize to? How do we fix this? What's my own accountability? Even holding myself accountability is still affirming, because that means I believe so much in myself that I know I can do better. But I don't have to beat myself up. I don't have to punish myself into doing better. See, we were punished into being better and doing better. But that's not real. That is fear-based. Okay. That is trying to avoid rejection and abandonment. That's not truly living up to who we are. Okay. So the steps begin with how I talk to myself. The steps become in the simplest ways how I prioritize my care. My clients and my students know I always ask them, did you eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner today? When the last time you had a BM? How much water did you drink today? When you realize that you had to pee, how long did you hold it? When somebody's telling me they holding it for an hour, 30 minutes, I already know you don't know how to take care of yourself, because that's a form of punishment. When you're hungry and you don't eat, that's a form of punishment. That's a form of shame. Whenever I say that, I always think about there's like a audio out of Beyonce, and she's talking about when she's in the studio, she's in there for 12 or 14 hours and she don't eat and she don't drink. And it's like, yeah, that's what dedication is. That's just for a time. But I guarantee you, when Beyonce comes out of there, somebody has already cooked her food. It's already ready. You understand? It's not a habit of her punishment. So I think when we listen and we see what other people are doing, and society tells us like denying ourselves the things that we need really shows our level of commitment, I'm always going to call bullshit, because it's very dangerous to send that message, especially to people like us where emotional and mental deprivation was how people kept us in line. Okay? And we had to maneuver those situations for our own survival. So that shit don't apply to us. Eat, drink, and pee. Okay? Those are primary things I want you to be thinking about. What are you eating? Are you eating food that's good for you, or are you just grabbing something on the go? When you go out with someone and they want to go to eat somewhere, but that's not the food you like, do you say, "Oh, it's no problem, I'll eat that"? Or do you say, "Yeah, no, I don't eat that. I don't put that in my body"? Okay? That's how all of those things are affirming by action, by choice. This is not a game of the words we use. Like, what are they? Give us some affirmations, Jennifer, like things that we can say. And y'all know I don't really talk a lot about things like affirmations because I want you to change your behavior. Instead of affirming words, I want you to have affirming behavior in all ways, and start small. Because like I said, a lot of you, your capacity to receive care and love and encouragement is so small that if you try to do too much too soon, it's you're going to reject it. It's not going to feel safe. And so you have to build up. That's what I want you to be understanding, is this is a build up. Inch by inch is a cinch. It's not, "Oh, we're going to eat the elephant all at one time." No. We're going to eat the elephant bite by bite. Okay? So that's what I would say as far as how I started to affirm myself and become confident. Because once you start to do those things, the shit that you used to put up with, you don't put up with anymore. You like, "I could never. I just can't do it." Some of the stuff I used to could put up with and deal with, girl, never. Not no more. But it takes time. And I will also say, I'm still growing. There are probably things that I deal with now that 6 months from now, a year from now, I might be like, "Yeah, that's a no for me," because I'm still building my own capacity. This doesn't stop. It's a lifestyle. Okay. Fourth and final question. Do you ever feel remorse about the time lost to your mother wound? I really thought I was going to start crying when I read that question. Yes, I feel remorse. I feel regret. I feel angst. I feel anger. I feel resentment because the time is literally lost. And I look at my life now, I'm like, at 51 years old, all of that time. Oh, girl, it's a bitch. And I don't run from it. I don't run from those feelings because there is a loss there. There are things that I deserved that I didn't get. And it impacted my life in so many ways. It's not just the pain from not having a loving mother, it's how it showed up in my lack of confidence, my lack of self-worth, my just everything. And it made me make choices that were not in my best interest over long periods of time, over decades, doing dumb shit for decades. And when you're in your 20s and your 30s, you really don't get it. You don't understand how time works because it's like you just became an adult. So you have all the time in the world, but you don't. And dealing with that, I can't say that it will go away completely. It's not something I think about all the time. It has gotten better, but sometimes I do have to make peace with what I lost that I will never have back again, and I grieve that. I grieve it. I don't try to make it better. And I know when I have big emotions, I have a capacity for them so I can let them sit because I know they don't stay. And I know they don't mean anything about me. They don't mean anything about me. And what we have to come to know is, because I'm going to say, as Blacks in the South, growing up in the church or any type of formal religion, and not even, I would say religion, I would say fairy tales, but fairy tales and religion, they're really the same thing. Okay. This idea that if I do the right things will happen to me. That's where it really gets us fucked up, because that's what was taught to us. Be a good girl, be obedient, do the right things, say the right things, get the right job, get the right degree, marry the right person, raise your kids the right way, wear the right clothes, buy the right car, everything. If you are a good person, you treat everybody nice, then you will get all of that back in return. And now you come back and you realize that shit was the biggest fucking scam in the world. And it's not true. It's not true for anyone. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, no matter what, you're going to have a cross to bear. No matter what, there's going to be something that you didn't get out of life. And you look back on it and you like, damn, I missed out on that. I wish I would have had that. It doesn't just happen to us because we have a mother wound. It can happen for a myriad of reasons. So you're not the only one going through that. I also don't want you to think, I'm one of one. Because of this, everybody else got their dream life. And because our mothers were the way they were, we didn't get ours. No, everybody has a cross to bear. And I don't dwell on the fairness or the unfairness, because who said it was supposed to be fair? Who said it was fair? When was it ever fair? For who? For when? You might look at somebody's life and be like, oh, that's what fair looks like, and I should have had that. It's not fair. Somebody should be punished. That fair and not fair is fantasy. Okay? So don't get stuck in that. Some things we won't get, but there are things, because of the ways I was brought up, that I do get. And you have to count the cost, and you have to find a way to count it all joy. And what's not joy? Light a candle, cry, pray over it, laugh, shout, cuss, whatever you have to do, and then bring it back to acceptance. Okay? I love y'all. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. I'll see you all next week. Go ahead and sign up for Resolve Evolve. The link is in the bio. It's 6 weeks live with me and some amazing women who are committed to their healing. Classes start January 4th. They're going to be Sunday afternoons. I used to do them in the evenings, but I think this is going to be better for all of us. This is a hands-on class. We're going to be practicing all the things that I'm teaching in the class. All of it. It's going to be so good, y'all. Ooh, 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 ooh. So check it out. Link in the bio, or not in the bio. I'm thinking I'm on freaking Instagram. Link is in the show notes or the show description. Okay. Or it will be in the link in my bio on Instagram also. So, hey, I wasn't wrong. I love y'all. Be good to yourself. Don't let anybody play in your fucking face. Not even you. Okay. I'll see you next week. Bye.